What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at a match I had against Eldlich branded, and it was an interesting one. There was a ruling in Game 3 that I really want your guys' opinion on. So when it comes to that moment, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if I'm crazy, but I feel like I was in the right here. We'll get to it when it gets to that. So starting off here, Eldlich, it's kind of like Trap Eldlich branded, kind of interesting. Goes in match, Scarlet, Ash, and he did top deck a Fallen of Albaz, which, actually, the more I think about it now, like maybe the wrong answer. Because what if you top deck Fallen of Albaz, and I think he only runs one copy. Maybe he doesn't. But if he only runs one copy, that's a huge risk, because if this goes, you can't use it anymore, right? But okay, sets 2 passes. This opening is just cracked. I don't even know if I win this game, which is kind of insane. I'm surprised he lets me go to stand. Although that makes sense, right? You want someone to play into goes in match. I can only control one attribute of monster. He does Ash that. I will Called by the Grave. Lucky for me to draw it. It is in there though. Okay, so I can go ahead and go into Salmagrate Almirage, and he activates goes, and that's fine to me, honestly. So I can go to Invocation because I have Nadir Servant. I might as well use Invocation and not wait until the next turn because this is going to just recur to my hand anyways. So yeah, okay, go ahead and go for Nadir Servant, adding a Maximus, and then I can pop his back row. Didn't know what he was playing at this point, although I guess I should have probably thought of Eldlich. I don't know. But I can banish entity, special summon, activate the effect, send a couple. So I think it was at this point that I found out that he was playing, the Despia version. It's not just Trap Eldlich, which I kind of thought originally. But he did set a monster, so it's like, what monster could possibly be set for Eldlich? There's just bad reads by me overall, I think. The fact that he plays an Elder is kind of whack, in my opinion, but So he's going to go ahead and destroy that. I'm going to hold on to the Wind Pegasus. It was alive at that point, right? But I'm just going to hold on to it. But I can activate Generator. So what was initially a really good turn turned bad very quickly. It was kind of unfortunate overall, but he's going to go ahead, Albion effect to add to his hand Branded Fusion. Which is fine. So Generator, boss stage, because I have an imperm for his Branded Fusion target, whatever that might be. At least that's what I thought. He did have another Eldlich. He has an Eldlich in hand there. But he had 2 Branded Fusions, and that's just... I should have gone to the battle phase, and I think I probably would have easily have won this. It's easier. It's better to know what you're playing against. So that was a bad misplay. This is a horrible game, one for me, but this can all be activated in the same chain essentially. So as soon as the tokens are there, I can go ahead and banish this, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, he's going to banish Scarlet Sanguine to set a Conquistador, but without an Eldlich there's nothing much he can do, and I'm assuming he only plays 2. It's kind of gross how lucky he honestly ended up getting there, but so he did have another Eldlich in hand, and he did have 2 Branded Fusions, but Branded Fusion comes down. There's not really much I can do at this point. Other than the Wind Pegasus. So, I mean, that is the last card he has. He's not going to be able to bring that Eldlich out, I don't think. It's possible. But I think he goes to the battle phase. So he's going to attack over at Garda, and then I will activate Wind Pegasus, targeting. And I thought he was going to banish himself. He doesn't. He targets Maximus. Although... that was weird. That was kind of weird. But that's fine. Who cares? That makes sense. He did activate the effect, so something does have to get banished. So I'm out of cards, but I do have Dogmatika, and I do have Boss Stage as well. So I have an Omni Negate coming online. Basically the answer for whatever he has, whatever Albion target he has. Yeah, so this was, you can activate this at any point, not just during the end phase like Hakero, which is what it is. So he does go for Conquistador and Albion effect. He's right back in this. So there's the 3rd Branded Fusion. Although he would have to go into Lubellion, so you'd have to pitch whatever he drops off the top. which is kind of funny. But okay, DD Crow, not bad. Definitely helps. I mean, DD Crow's very good against Eldlich. So if I can just get it off the board, I can just banish it, and I think I'm like way better off at that point. Oh, that's right. He doesn't even have access to like Hakero. That's kind of funny. But I did activate Dogmatika, and he decided to scoop. I was interested to see how that played out. But I would have gotten through his board. Twin Twister is good, bad against Trap Eldlich, and I mean that's part of what makes the deck so good. Cosmic Cyclone would of course be way better, but I don't play Cosmic Cyclone in my deck. Pankratops could be good against Mirror Jade. He sets 2 and passes, so he sets the 2 card that he absolutely needs. So I said in standby phase, I'll go ahead and activate this, and of course. Yeah, at least I get rid of his, like, what he uses. I don't know. It sucks. I wish it would have been, like, hard traps, right? Like, how many does... He probably only plays, like, 1 Hakero, too. It's pretty sick. But what I want to do is activate it, send the Eldlich, normal summon the Alistair, and then banish it, right? That was the idea, but it did not work out. So, lots of hand traps for him. And then I can activate boss stage and boss fight because you can. It's a soft once per turn for boss stage. So, and I will go ahead and bring out Udgarda. Although, oh, okay. You know what? This was the idea. This is the idea I had originally. So, I was going to activate the effect of this as quickly as possible. So there's 4 tokens. So in the draw phase, right? Tokens come out, activate, banish Hakero, and then in standby phase, chain boss fight, bring out an Har. So I had the Omni negate. So like I kind of did have the answers, but of course, Moonlit Chill. That's why I was activating this in the draw in the standby phase to play around Effect Veiler. But he did draw pretty darn well. Plus he top decks a Branded Fusion. Must be nice. Really, you know what? That was actually a misplay by me. Big time. So in standby phase, I should have activated this, gotten rid of the tokens. That was my fault. So, because I couldn't activate this during main phase 1, obviously, as priority. And so I just messed up there. Well, I misplayed so much. You'd think this deck would be so simple, but it's really not. Like, there's so many things I have to learn. And then he draws a card. I will activate this. So he's just reading it, and I'm just saying, yeah, it's a soft one. This is a weird chain. So this is a separate chain. And then he's going to... Does he send something? No. Chainlink 1. Is that really what it is, though? I'm confused. I don't know. This was like a really weird ruling. I was gonna negate, because wouldn't this be the last thing to activate, and then I'd have a chance to respond with Har? Maybe not. I don't know. There was a lot of strange things happening in this deck for sure. I kind of talked about this before, how like if he activates Mirror Jade, like I have the opportunity to negate it. But he does get over this, and he gets over one of the tokens, because I think this has 1800 attack. Yeah, so I take like 300 damage there. Or no, I don't take any because of Secure Gardena. He's going to end the turn. He's going to attempt to activate Scarlet. I will negate that to get rid of his disruption. So the Conquistador obviously just ends the game for me because of boss stage. But the game's pretty much over. I misplayed so badly in the standby phase. I should have brought that out. A top deck of Alistair is like cool. It's good. But he had another Effect Veiler. So let's take a look at his graveyard. 2 Effect Veiler, a Moonlit Chill, and plus he opened Branded Fusion. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Scarlet comes out. He doesn't have any targets, I don't think. But yeah, that's game, right? That's super game. Because even if Har comes out, it doesn't really do much for me. And then he top decks an Ash Blossom anyways. So even if it would have mattered, I don't know. But you know, I'm just not going to... Like this deck, or I don't know, maybe most decks, probably aren't winning through 4 hand traps in your first like 2 turns. I think I just scoop. Ugh. I said it'd be like that sometimes. Kind of sad. I don't even know. I mean, technically this is still online, right? I still have a chance, but I have to top deck something pretty good. I don't even know what the top deck would be. Like another Alistair or something like that. Or no, all three of them are used. It would have to be like Invocation. Invocation might win me the duel. But it's a Twin Twister, so it's just it. I mean, I guess it technically wasn't over, but I think the tokens, like being in attack position, probably would have put me in the wrong there. Could have won that. Could have easily have won that, actually. Let's see if I can figure this out. So this is where the crazy ruling comes in. So Twin Twister again, I don't even know if I should have sided, but all the other cards just aren't that good. But Punishment I can grab. So he has a Cosmic Cyclone. I set 3 and pass. We'll see what he ends up hitting. 2 Cursed Eldlich and an Eldlich in hand. I think he's running 3. Like, that's on you, bro. Like, you don't really always want to see Eldlich in your opening hand. I could have activated this in response, but I'd rather wait for him to set a couple cards and like go about it that way. But Cosmic Cyclone, he hits Twin Twisters, which is kind of fine by me. Gets banished. I fixed it. And he goes for Eldlich the Golden Lord, so I guess that's where it looks really good. But he gets rid of the Imperm, and I'm kind of sweating a little bit. But he does try to activate Cursed Eldlich, or the Eldlich in Graveyard. I'll banish it. So I'm off to a pretty decent start, of course. He's going to get access to Scarlet, but that's about it. I wish, like now I kind of wish I had that Twin Twisters, but alas. Hakero can go ahead and give him a Scarlet. So, all right. Things get a little wacky. I have another DD Crow, which is pretty nice. Goes and match in their Chameleon one. Not like they're really, I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but you can play around it pretty easily. I'll just attempt to attack directly. I knew Scarlet was coming out. I do have a Punishment, though. And the idea is here, I'm thinking. Obviously, the attack's not going to go through, because that would have been in the same chain. Wouldn't this target one face-up monster your opponent controls? Send one monster. Like, doesn't the... I don't know. I guess the target goes afterwards. So he's going to pop his own card. So that misses timing, but I'm just going to DD Crow the Eldlich. So he's down to 1 at this point, or I guess, yeah, because he was playing 3. We'll see how it ends up going. He top decks an Effect Veiler. Activate. He can't grab he can't grab the last Eldlich because he doesn't have a way to get it on the board. So he does search Hakero. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm slowly but surely surviving this. I don't even know if his Scarlet has a target. He does. He's playing so many. Like, I feel like I've been really unlucky, to be honest with you. 1, 2 Hakero. Like, Hakero's not good against every deck, which is so wild to me. Like, I mean, what am I to say, though? I mean, and the top deck of an Ash is actually pretty good if he does have a Scarlet. I don't think I can do anything, though. So I think I'm going to go to main phase 1, put this in defense, and try to end my turn. Okay, so this is where things, in my opinion, go awry. So, all right, Conquistador. So maybe he took out another Eldlich. I don't know. A top deck of Brand Fusion. Like, come on, man. Give me a break, right? Give me a break. Luckily I had an Ash, but okay. This is it. This is literally where it happens. He starts his main phase 1. He doesn't do it once, because if you do it once, it would have been a totally different thing. He has 2 Conquistador on the field. He hovers over Conquistador, sends it to the graveyard. Hovers over the other one, sends it to the graveyard. To me, and we'll check out the dialogue here. He goes, oops, meant to XYZ summon. No, you didn't. So first of all, he's lying. Like, he's definitely lying right here. There's a fact. Like I said, if you do it once and you're like, oops, I meant to XYZ summon, no problem. I'll take that all day. You deliberately sent 2 off the board. So either you're A, tribute summoning, or B, you're link summoning. You have to do a legal action with those 2 things. I'm not going to let you bring those 2 things out. There's no way. That is so whack to me. So I kind of talked about that. You don't accidentally do that. So I'm like, dude, you're kind of committed to that. And he's like, that doesn't commit anything. How? How does it not? Like, if you don't have if you don't have a legal action to perform, like you don't have a link monster that you can go into, or you don't have a tribute summon, that's a different thing, because you can't do illegal moves, obviously. But he's acting like he doesn't, and that's the whole thing. Like, because I don't know what's in his extra deck, and we went to go see if there's a judge, but we were playing this like really late at night, so there wasn't any. Let me know what you guys think about this, though, in the comment section. Was I terribly wrong? Maybe I'm like horribly in the wrong, but I feel like I saw on on Dueling Book, excuse me, there was a match, a tournament match, like a small one, and like an Ad Ignister player had sent these cards to the graveyard, and then he tried to bring them back out, but he like, it's up for debate, but what ended up happening was said, all right, there's no judges, do you just want to call us a draw and then go to the next game? That's fine with me, right? Like, that's, hey, let's just decide this in another game, because that's kind of whack. So here's the pivotal game 4, kind of rare, right? And I top deck okay. It's decent. It's not great, but it's decent. So he's got Effect Failure, Lava Golem, Rivalry of Warlords, which most of my cards are spellcasters. So, although the generator tokens are fairies, which is kind of unfortunate, but in Imperm. So I'm going first. I won the dice roll, or the rock, paper, scissors. He Effect Failures the Ecclesia, which is actually fine. I mean, I would have searched a floor, which would have been nice. But I did have Punishment on my hand, so I'm actually fine with him going with the interaction there. He top decks an Ash Blossom of his own. But it's kind of good, I mean, in a sense. Like, Lava Golem's just not online. If I would have drawn Crazy, like, it may have been worse. I decide to Ash here. I don't know if we can see this. Oh, okay. 2 Mirror Jade, but I think he probably runs 3, right? So it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I don't know if you're running Potted Desire. I don't know. This is a very interesting deck list to me. But he sets an Ash. Do you not keep that? What do I have on the board that's so scary to you that like the game's over? I don't know. But you know, Imperm in this column too. So, whew, I got to figure something out pretty quick. But, this is so sick. So he goes, attempt to end phase. I'm going to activate this. So this Imperm is it's not going to matter. And like I said, on tokens, you can still activate these effects. So this, again, he's not going to be able to do anything with the card that he draws. It's a Fallen of Albaz. But, you know, that's going to trigger. It's unfortunate this is my hand. But that's fine. I can go ahead and summon out the Har, which is going to summon out the tokens. And then on the resolution of the tokens coming out, I can activate, you know, Udgarda. So Udgarda effect. Tribute those tokens, get rid of his Imperm. So I'm getting far ahead at this point, right? Or fairly. So the token goes away. Makes sense. And he activates Rivalry. So I'm going to have to... it's only one... Yeah, you can only control one type of monster. So this is a rock. And this isn't doing anything at this point. This is doing a lot more, theoretically. I can attack over that and pass turn. So he draws a Droll and Lockbird. But I already have a Dogmatika punishment, so this is pretty awesome. This is actually kind of crazy. Like, I feel like he played this very badly. So he's going to discard the Droll and Lockbird. I will activate the punishment, sending an Elder. Elder can pop the Rivalry, and I'm sitting in the driver's seat 100% right now, 300% perhaps. And I can go ahead and activate Terraforming. And, yeah, he just ended up quitting. That was the duel. I don't think there's any, like, ill will. It was frustrating for both of us. But I'm interested in you guys' comments. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. And I'll see you guys next time.